Hey guys, it's Lily. Welcome to my channel. A few weeks ago, I surpassed 4,000 subscribers. Yay, I'm really happy about that. And so I have a lot of new people on my channel. I thought I would just introduce myself to you by doing a 50 random things about me tag. You never know, maybe we have something random in common. Number one, when I was born, my eyes were very slanted, and so I quickly got the nickname China. And till this day, there's still people in my family that call me China. 2, I played with Barbies until I was 12 years old. And the only reason I stopped, I would have totally still continued to play, was because I just decided that I was too old to play with Barbies and none of my other friends played with Barbies. And so I just one day packed them all up and gave them away to my cousin. But I loved playing with Barbies. Number 3, when I was in the 6th grade, I had this little boyfriend. And one day at a party, he kissed me on the lips and he slipped in a little tongue. Oh, I was so disgusted by that and turned off that I broke up with him immediately. And I never spoke to him again. Number 4, I love pickles. I can't eat chicken without hot sauce. I need my hot sauce. I don't like walking barefoot on hardwood floors, tile. It just grosses me out. Something about feeling things on the bottom of my feet. Ugh. Every time I eat bread, 90% of the times, if I eat a bread, it kind of gets stuck in my throat and I always get the hiccups. So I have to make sure that I have water nearby whenever I eat bread. When I was in the 3rd grade, I auditioned for a drama program, elementary school, and I made it. And I used to do plays and musicals. And I actually discovered that I could sing when I was given this long, big part that I had to hold a long note in the play called Working. God only knows what I could have been. Never forgot it. Brushing my teeth makes me so thirsty. My very first concert was Michael Jackson. Yep, I got in a fight in the 3rd grade and it was over saying yo mama. I secretly love the smell of horse poop. Let me explain. When I was little, I grew up on a farm. Well, at least like 2 acres of land, and we had chickens and ducks and horses. And I just have these vivid memories of my childhood whenever I smell horse poop, because we used to have to go out there and clean the stables. And so I secretly love the smell. My favorite thing to eat in the whole wide world is chicken wings. I could eat them every day as long as I have my hot sauce. I don't even need blue cheese or anything like that, just hot sauce. I could eat them every day. I take off my jewelry when I go to sleep. I can't stand anything on me on my fingers when I sleep. My dream job would be to be a food critic. I wish I could get paid to go to restaurants and just eat delicious, yummy food. My celebrity crush is The Rock. Don't tell my husband. He already knows. Favorite movie? Count of Monte Cristo. Love it. I could watch it every day. I love any food with lemon and cilantro. I could eat anything. You can put it on cardboard and I'll eat it up. Lemon and cilantro. For about 10 years of my life, I grew up going to Guatemala every summer. That's where my father lived, and so we would go to Guatemala. And at the time, we hated it so much because we would leave our mom and our friends and all that. And now I would like chop off my left arm to do all the cool things that we did in a 3rd world country. And I love that we got to see all that growing up. When I was about 10 years old visiting Guatemala, me, my sister, and my stepmom got caught in a really big rip current and we almost died. The craziest thing I ever ate was the testicles of a bull in a soup. We were actually tricked into eating it. We were sipping away saying, oh, this is a delicious soup. And then the cook was like, ha ha ha, do you know what's in there? Yeah, that little meatball you bit into, that's not a meatball, that's a bull's ball. When I'm sleeping, if there's anything on my feet, I can't sleep. Like a pillow, a blanket, a load of laundry, I got to kick it off the bed because I cannot stand anything on my feet when I'm sleeping. I despise drying myself with a wet towel. Nothing makes me more annoyed than when I reach for a towel and it's wet, that my husband used my towel, or that every towel hanging in our bathroom is wet. Ugh, I will like get out dripping and go get a new towel because I hate drying myself with a wet towel. I love me some Sour Patches, but they give me a headache after eating too many, so I can only do a few of them. Does anyone else get a headache when you eat those sour gummies? I do. Right after high school, when I started college, I went to work for Sony Music. It was a great experience. I actually got to work with a lot of Latin artists. I was in the publishing department and it was one of the coolest times in my life. Shortly after that, I did an internship at a studio, South Beach Studios in South Beach, Florida. and I got fired from my internship because I took a picture with Hanson. Hanson, bap, bap. Those guys, can you believe that? Like, I really cared to have a picture with him. They told me that I wasn't allowed to take pictures with any of the artists that came in, and I didn't. I never asked to take a picture with Hanson. One day, we were all hanging out in the studio, and they wanted to take pictures. So I took them, my boss found out, and I was canned. Oh well, I didn't do anything there anyways, but like go get bagels and hang out with the artists. And speaking of all this music, I got my degree, my associate's degree in music business. I did a semester of college in Utah. It was probably about 6 months. Cool experience, but it just wasn't for me. At that time, I knew I really wanted to get into music, and Utah was not the place for music, so I moved back to Miami. The cool thing is, I saw snow for the first time. I was in my 20s. I also lived in California for 2 years in my life. I thought I would totally end up leaving Florida and living in California for good, but God had another plan for my life because I met my husband in Florida and we moved back to my home. Never had any alcohol, ever. Never tasted it. Well, one time in prom, there was a cup, I got confused. I took a sip and I was like, poof! I spit it up and I thought, forget it, like I had just swallowed, I don't know, liquid crack. I was so like, dramatic about it. But other than that little mishap, I've never ever tasted alcohol. My very first car was the color peach. Peach. You don't see peach cars, but it truly was peach. And guess what we nicknamed it? Me and my friends, we called it Peachy. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always had a really strong belief in God. I always had so much faith, and it was never anything that I struggled with. It was just something that from a young age, I always believed in Him. In 2009, I recorded an album. Isn't that cool? I actually toured. I was on Christian radio, Latin Christian radio, and I went to many events and sang at festivals and pretty much put everything on hold after having my son Liam. But I still sing, and if you made it this far and you're watching this video and you just leave any sweet comment saying something about yourself, I'll enter you in a giveaway to win my CD. I love to buy nail polishes. It actually makes me very happy, and I gotta like buy a new one at least once every couple weeks. I've traveled to several countries across the world. Guatemala, obviously, Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, Mexico, Panama, and Grand Cayman. I've also been to the Bahamas and Puerto Rico. When I was in Grand Cayman, I actually swam with stingrays and held them. It was kind of scary, but really cool. In Mexico, my husband and I dove in an underwater cave, and when you got in there, we took this long like tunnel down, and when you got there, you could see like rocks and stuff, but when you put your head under the water, you see this deep, so like all this deepness of just caves and those long whatever cave rocks, those pointy thingies, all down there. Cheapskate confession. One of the craziest things I ever did for beauty, to save money and beauty, was for probably a year, I lived off of foundation samples from Lancome. Every couple months when I'd go to the mall, I'd just ask, can I have some foundation? And they would give me, 1 or 2, I'd ask for extra. And then I would just wait till I run out. Number 40, I learned how to speak gibberish when I was in the 3rd grade, and I never forgot it. Do the goo, you the goose, but the geek, to the gib, the gish. I can only eat cereal with a big spoon, not a little spoon. I've never colored my hair, ever, but I really want to, and I've always wanted to, but I'm just too chicken. Back in the beeper days, my code was 1717. Lily upside down. Whenever I go to a restaurant, I ask for water with no lemon, of course. One of my first jobs was at a mall kiosk, and it was actually one of those kiosks that we put pictures on mugs, t-shirts, and yeah. I sleep on my back with just one pillow. That's how I sleep now. Just like this, like a dead person. Hands to the side, one pillow. I don't like eating in the dark. Like candlelight dinners are not for me. Lipstick over lip gloss. Someone really close to me and my family spent 15 years in prison. And it's a random fact about them, but the random fact about me is that for 15 years, we visited him in prison almost every week. Here's a funny one. When I was a teenager, my mom was telling us to get out of the kitchen because she didn't want us to eat any of the food. So I slowly snuck in and I grabbed a muffin that was in the oven and I ate it up. And after I was pretty much done, I was like, haha, I ate a muffin. And my mom's like, a muffin? I didn't make muffins. Let me see that muffin. And the little piece that I had left was covered in mold. I thought it was blueberry. It was an old muffin that she just left in the oven for who knows how long. Needless to say, I went in the bathroom and puked. That's all, guys. 50 random things about me. Don't forget about my little giveaway. Leave a comment saying anything. Hello, hola, how long you've been a subscriber. Just leaving a comment saying anything. And I'll pick a random winner to win my inspirational CD. You can always check out my music online. Just type in Lily Rubio.
I used to feel like